Hi everyone, so in today's video I'll be trying out this LDRS Creative bundle called Billowing Peony that they have brought to HSN for the January 28th craft show or craft day. Just really gorgeous stuff. In the last video I tried out this one with the beautiful little bird, and it is just lovely. I still think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I have it right here in front of me looking at it and getting some inspo from that. But they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. So thank you for using those if you would like to. Again, with HSN and YouTube, it might be embedded in the video here, definitely at the top of the description box. So as in the last video I showed you guys, this one has a 4x6 stamp set, a acrylic stamp set. I'm trying to show you guys what that looks like. There we go, maybe. So we have like a little bundle here that's really beautiful, or just a beautiful big peony with the leaves. And then, you know, some sentiments: wishing you a lifetime of happiness, thankful to have you in my life, thank you for everything, things like this, take care and get well soon. So every day, you know, think of you and sending love, things like that. Very, very beautiful. You are my happy place. It comes with the dies to cut out this guy, but also this larger one that actually you can emboss. Okay, so this larger guy doesn't have a stamp. It's for this one. But there's different ways to play with that. And then to cut out all the sentiments, which I really love. I think that's really nice. So what happens when you cut out this larger one, like in the last video, I cut it out of just white paper. I mean, you can cut it out of whatever color you'd like. Something light so you can do the stenciling, of course. You stencil it, and then you run it through this, and then you have this gorgeous statement piece for your card. You can stamp and die cut, you know, the smaller guy, mix and match them. That'd be really pretty. But this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 stencils. The last set had 3 stencils. And as you look at it, this is number 1. You have A1, A2, A3, B1, B2. So you're following the steps as far as that, because each stencil has more than one thing going on it. Number 2 has B3, and then C1 and C2. It has C3, C4, D1, 3, and then 4 has D2, D3, D4, and D5, right? So that's how the stencils go, but we'll look at the instruction sheet here in just a moment. And then you have this beautiful 6-inch 3D embossing folder. So just know that it is a 3D embossing folder. You're going to want to use a machine that can accept 3D type embossing folders, and 6 inches wide, right? And there's your beautiful billowing peony. And if you want it to face up, like the embossing, you're going to face your paper inside, the top of your paper, facing you, facing the lettering here. Some companies put their name on the back for whatever reason, and that's actually the bottom. You would think you would face it that way, but I hope that makes sense. So the top of the paper, what you want to see facing you should be facing you with the lettering facing up. Okay, so let's check this out. So they're showing some inspo here, you know, playing well with some of the other dies that LDRS Creative offers. A lot of these things you can find on their own site. They do have a site, ldrscreative.com. You can check that out. I generally have a generic link there to pop over to that site also in the description box. And then here they're showing you, you know, you're going to do your stenciling. It does have a tip: a darker version of a color can be achieved by layering a color over itself. So every time you don't have to keep changing out the color, maybe you just use the same color again on some of these accents. So that's what they're showing you here. So, you know, for this first one, it's basically focusing on the big peony that you're going to cut from the larger die and run it through the embossing folder. I did that at the end though. So I cut the die cut first, did the coloring. The second one is also mostly just focusing on the large bouquet, as you can see. The third stencil starts coloring the smaller one. So if you're not doing the smaller bouquet, then you don't need to pay attention to that. You can just leave it alone. It's just more greenery for this guy. And then the last one has some of the coloring for the little guy. This one also started coloring the little guy. And I think that's it. I think the last one just focuses on that one. So if you're doing a large cluster, you're basically focusing on the first 3 stencils. So I'm just going to grab some papers, some inks, and we'll hop right to it. Okay, guys, so just to start off, I have some things. We're going to need this guy. I'm going to go ahead and do the large bouquet so we can do the stenciling. And you can see what that looks like with the embossing. So this guy, I just grabbed some paper, you know, whatever paper you like. This is a really heavyweight white cardstock. And we're going to ink that up. And again, I cut it out first. If you don't want to do that, you can do the stenciling, I think it's easier if you know what you're going to be stenciling though, so I feel like you need to do that first. And then a card base. And let me see if I can do 4 1/4 on this. I don't know if I can. I might have already cut this in a way that... Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do it lengthwise. So 4 1/4 on your A2 size paper, and then score it at 5 1/2. 5 1/2. And then speaking of dies that you can pick up on LDRS Creative site, I am using a die to help me do like a background piece. I feel like the this die is a good size, so I mean it is going to cover quite a bit, and actually maybe it's going to be like that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll still do the arch. I don't know. We'll see how that works. Tongue-tied. Already. Always. I'm going to take this stitched scallop arch die, and I think this should make like a larger, the bigger guy, almost A2 size. Fine, I'll take it out of the packaging. And I'm going to run it through this gold paper. I'm trying to see if it's, yeah, I mean, that's red on there. So, perfect. So I'm going to run it through this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing we'll need, we have our card base here, that beautiful arch background piece. And honestly, I mean, you can even make this into a shape card if you want to, but okay, there we go. I'm going to put that to the side for a moment. I'm not sticking that down yet. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy and, was this here? Yeah. I'm just going to put it on a grip mat, but if you want to just hold it down, I mean, that works too. I think I'm going to go ahead and remove the die. Last time I just left it in there just because it was a little more delicate on the edges. Sorry, I just smacked something over here. But if you want to, you can just go ahead and remove that. And we can get started. Again, you have your instruction here, showing us what we're going to be coloring. So A1, again, starts with the big bloom here. And you're just going to line it up at this point because we're starting out and I want to see kind of where that should go. Okay, you know I'm going to do so that at home this will make sense to you. I'm going to put it the same way as the image. So the little bud is up here. Okay, so when I take this and we go to put it on here, you can follow these areas a little better. So this first one is going to follow the contour of that petal. See that petal out there? And so if you kind of line it up, you have a good idea of where you're going to be placing it. That looks pretty good right there. And again, when you're stenciling, generally light to dark, and you know, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get a little dauber and some ink. Okay, so I'm gonna focus right now on the pink colors. And, ooh, this is a new kit that I haven't used. It was a gift from a friend here. So, little finger daubers. And they do say on there which colors they use, so if you wanted to look just like their example, is the LDRS Creative Kiss Me Red, Lipstick Jungle. Actually, I have those colors. Soft Kisses, Evergreen, and Olive Branch. And I think I have all of them. I know I have Kiss Me Red right here, and I'm looking at Lipstick Jungle over there. But I just chose some colors on my own, and so we'll just go with that. So, again, the lightest one that I have here is going to be Pink Tutu. So I'm just going to lightly, and that's just me. I go light to dark. Generally, that's the rule of thumb. So, oh, there you go. Oh, you know what? I'm getting a little debris from this guy. Okay. Okay, so that's that first one. And then B1 is the bud. And the bud, excuse me, it should also be the same color, I suppose, is what they're showing. So let's go ahead and line this guy up. And like right about there. Okay. And I'm using the same dauber, even though I think it's seen better days. It's kind of falling apart there. All right. I'm just going to dab, dab, dab instead of rub, 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 because it's wanting to have an issue for me. There we go. Okay. So that is those two. And then we're going to go with a deeper color. So on this one, the second color that you use is the one that's going to be a little bit deeper, right? So let's see, A1, B1, A2, and then A3, B2. So we're going to do A2 and B2 the same right now. And again, following these petals. And it does have contours. I don't know if you can see those little lines that help you line it up. About there. That looks really good. And so a little bit deeper color, and I think let's do Lipstick Jungle. I think that one's a little bit deeper, and then the Crispy Red is definitely the darkest color. So I'm going to go in with this one and just get that guy going. Sorry guys, I hadn't used these daubers yet, like I said. And this one's doing a little something funky. There we go. And then let's go to B2. And again, I'm looking at the little lines on here. Hope you can see those etch lines that help you line it up. And that's perfect. Okay, B2. And then we're going to do A3, which is going to be the darkest one. And then on the next one, we'll have the darkest one of the bud. Okay, so A3 is this guy. And etched lines there. Help you kind of line that up there. And I'm probably still going to use the same dauber. And we'll do the red again, just in that area. And there are lines to show you like what you're supposed to be, how far to go with the next color, right? There's like etched lines. So this time we're doing just this area with the red. Beautiful peony right there. So that was everything on the number 1. Number 2, we still have B3 to finish this guy off. So again, you have the etchings. And this is what I was saying, like this area, that's B3. So only the things that are there are we going to be coloring right now. And put down. Let's get that much brighter red there. I will say on this one, if you decide, like it said, to use the same color over and over, these are all separate areas, so it's just going to be all pink if you keep using the same color over and over, or all red or whatever, right? These don't really overlap, so you're not going to build up color that way, like with the tip that they gave you here. Let's see. So now we're going to do C1, and that should be some of the greenery. So let me grab some green, and I'll be back. I actually have 2 greens here, so I'm going to go with the lighter key lime pie and then evergreen. And those, I'm sorry, and then olive branch. They're saying olive branch and evergreen, if you want to look exactly like they're doing. I will say on this number 2, you're doing the top, so C1 like up here. You're doing this area. And then the bottom, that's C2, is to do the other area, if that makes sense. So let's just get this on here. Right there. So it's going to be the same green is what I'm trying to say. You're going to use the same green for both of these. They just kind of split up, that's all. So I'm just going to dab, dab, dab. Okay. And then this one is going to be basically the same greenery. So just line that up with those etched lines. And dab, dab, dab. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this in, and I'll be right back. So I just got that one done there, and look how pretty it comes to life. And then the last one that we're going to be using for this guy, again, is C3 and C4, and then this one is for the other design. Okay, so on this one, we're just going to go ahead and, again, the same green, it's just this area, you know, for C3, and then the bottom area for C4. So I'm just going to line that up, and then I will use my green, what did I have, olive? Yeah, olive branch. And I'm going to use the same one because that's just how I am. So I'll dip that there. And this is darker, clearly, than before. And then it's also adding up on this dauber, the color, so it just gets darker and darker. And you guys, that's so pretty. I'm telling you, when we run through the embossing folder, it's just wow. Okay, so then I'll put it on here. And, oh, I made a really big kind of dot shape on that one as soon as I dabbed it down. So let me just do a little less over here so I don't get such a defined circle, right? And there we go. So let's check that out, and it is very pretty. So let me put these things away, and then we're just going to run this through the embossing folder. Okay, so we're just going to take that right off, and carefully we're going to pop it in here, and look at all the texture that you're going to get on this beautiful thing. Okay. So I would just, you can line it up with that. I lined it up with this top part last time so I can see very well where each area is going to be, and that looks perfect. So close that up and run it through your machine in whatever way you need for a 3D piece or embossing folder. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm using the Spellbinders Platinum 6 with the universal plate system, so it's just the A plate and the adapter. And I mean, that looks amazing. I love it. I love it. Love it. I mean, again, of course I'm getting tongue-tied, but look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. And again, you can just run this through. I mentioned in the other video, let's just say you have an A2 size card topper or even like a 5-inch square card or whatever. Put it in here, run it through, and then that card has this beautiful image on it. You can stencil it still. You can just leave it like that with a sentiment. It's going to look really nice and pristine and gorgeous. So just knocked out of the park. That is gorgeous. Okay guys, so we have that piece that I had brought out earlier. Again, it really takes up this whole top, and I think it's gonna look really gorgeous with that. I think it's at first I had it square ways, the image, but it really is meant to be something like that. This is delicate paper. It has paper on the back, but then that gold on the front. So I just want to put a little glue so that it doesn't wrinkle the paper on this opposite side. What am I doing? There we go. Nice and straight right there. Oh, hey, I'm telling you, glue is tricky. I guess I had glue on my hands. And then look at this gorgeous thing. Okay, so let's do something like that. And let's pop this up. So what I'm going to do is just put a few dimensionals in this area. So that way it's up here, but then stuck down at the base, right? So I'm going to put a few of these guys, take the carriers off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so dimensionals up there, and glue down here. Again, really on those edges that would touch the paper, because they really are really popped up. So wherever you see an area that's kind of flat, really get in there. And again, something like that. Beautiful. This will be flat, and this is kind of popped up. So this top area has that dimension, and this area is flat down here. And we'll just do our sentiment. Okay guys, and look how pretty that is. Just gorgeous. So again, I stuck it down here, and then I did the little kind of 3D there. And so we're just going to do a sentiment. And let's see here. Take care and get well soon. Thank you for everything. Thinking of you and sending love. Let's do that. So I just have a scrap of paper here. Just going to stamp that right up. And again, photopolymer stamp. Which, I don't know, I don't think I'm on... I was gonna say, I don't think I'm by myself on this. I love the way photopolymer stamps smell. Sometimes they have like a little coconutty smell, a little vanilla smell, a little like, I don't know. Okay, so let's stamp that guy. It's really nice. I kind of shifted a little bit, so I'm gonna do it again. Try not to move this time. There we go. So if I nice and clear over here, kind of my hand moved, so I got like a little extra there. And so we're just gonna cut that guy out. And I think it's this one. Yep. And I just love the way LDRS Creative does their dies, because like you can see right above where it's going to cut, a little bit below, it's perfectly like the lettering, so you can have a really good idea where you're going to be cutting. And I think that's good right there. So I'm just going to, oh, I like to reuse my little washi until it's no more, and I try to get a piece off my table here and it just like ripped off. Okay, I'm gonna run that through and I'll be right back. Okay guys, and since I have a lot of like white and white, I mean that looks lovely, right? I'm thinking about doing a drop shadow, so let me see what that looks like, but I'm just gonna run this through and some black paper and we'll see how that looks. I might just not use it, but let's see. I mean, look how perfect that is. Love it. Do something like that. It just adds a little something, but I'm not sure if I should put it there or here. I do like the way it does add something this way. Okay, so let's do it that way because you can see a little more of the top of the lettering, I think. There's our little oopsie. Okay, or my little oopsie. I'm not gonna put it on you guys. That was me. That was all me. All right, let's put that over here. And just more like that. And then I'm gonna get some dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, so there's some dimensionals on that, and I'm just going to pop that, I think, right here. Just hold that straight a little bit, straighten that out. And I think that looks great. So there is, guys, your gorgeous Billowing Peony with, again, stamps, dies, stencil, and embossing folder, and it is just really, really gorgeous. So just a really lovely pair of cards here. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks so much to LDRS Creator for sending these items for review. I will have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.